Hey guys, I chose to do the Saharan Desert for my project. Some things about the Saharan Desert. It is located on the African continent. It is the largest hot desert in the world and the third largest desert overall after Antarctica and the Arctic. It covers 3,500,000 square miles, and it gets less than 10 inches of rain every year. Most of the water found in the Sahara is in the form of seasonal, and the only permanent river in the desert is the Nile River, and that flows from Central Africa to the Mediterranean Sea. Abiotic factors. Abiotic factors are non-living components that are found in an ecosystem and that influence living things. The abiotic factors for the Sahara Desert are temperature, bodies of water, which is the Nile River, rainfall, sand, and sunlight. The biotic factors are any living thing that has any effect on the ecosystem. Some things I found were the yucca moth, monitor lizards, fennec foxes, snakes, scorpions, euphorbias, red acacia trees, date palm, wild desert gourd, and mastic tree. Animals and their role. The yucca moth. So the yucca moth carries pollen from plant to plant for the yucca plant. In exchange for carrying the pollen, the yucca plant is a home for the yucca moth. So it carries pollen from plant to plant, and its habitat is only where yucca plants are. Okay, monitor lizards. Okay, so a monitor lizard is an extremely venomous reptile in the Saharan Desert. It hunts insects, rats, and other small mammals, and it likes to be in warm climates. Something interesting I found was that the lifespan for a monitor lizard ranged from 8 to 30 years, and I thought that was like a really long time. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, so next is the fennec foxes. It is the only carnivore that lives in the Sahara Desert, and it is able to survive without water for a long time. The fox's kidneys have adapted and restrict the water loss. That's how they can survive without water for a long time, just because it has adapted. It feeds on plants and desert animals, and it likes to live in the sandy Sahara in North Africa. Okay, desert horned vipers. They're the most common venomous snakes in the Sahara, and this is the only one that you're likely to be encountered with in the sand dunes. They consume a large number of rodents, and they like to live in deserts. That's supposed to be desert, not deserts. Sorry. Scorpions. Desert scorpions use their tough exoskeletons as protection from the sun's rays. They eat small insects, and they like to live in warm climates. Plants and their roles. Date palm. The leaves from this date palm A lot of people cook them as vegetables, but they can also be used to plant the seeds, or a lot of people use the seeds for making flour and bread. This is a source of food, and it likes to be in hot, dry climates with a water source. Mastic tree. This tree trunk bleeds, so its resin or sap can be collected. The resin can also be chewed, kind of like chewing gum, but it could also be hard, and you can use it as a spice, and it likes to be in warm climates. The food chain. So this is just a picture of a food chain from the Sahara Desert. So you can look at that for a second. This is a food web. And an example of a competitive relationship in the Sahara is a relationship in between a desert eagle and a Nubian bustard. They like to compete for food like the kangaroo rats and the jerboa. Symbiotic relationships. One symbiotic mutualism relationship. An example would be the yucca moth and the yucca plant. Like I said earlier, the moth will pollinate the plant and carry the pollen to different plants, and then in return, the moth will get a place to live and to lay its eggs. So they're both getting something. Another example is the symbiotic relationship. An example of this would be dung beetles. The dung beetles live off of other animals' dung. So the beetles benefit from other animals' dung, but it doesn't affect the animals. Okay, so extinct and endangered. One extinct animal that was in the Sahara Desert is an addax. Two endangered animals I found were antelopes and gazelles, and the reason they are endangered is because they've been overhunted and because of drought. Okay, environmental issues. So an environmental issue that I found in the Sahara Desert is the rapid depletion of plant life and the loss of topsoil. Desertification is a result of little rainfall the Sahara Desert gets a year, and it only gets a few inches every year. So this causes a lot of depletion in plant and animal life. So that was it. Thank you.